In this tutorial, you will learn how to draw text to the screen using a typing-like effect. It should be in the middle of the screen or wherever I felt like putting it when I was editing this video. So yeah, let's start a new project. Name it XNA something XNA. Now for this tutorial, I have a pre-coded input manager. Just drop that into your project. It'll be in the description. You can go look through the code if you want to know how this works, but you don't really need to know how it works for now. I'll explain it a little later on in this video. So first things first, we need to make our struct named display message public string message public time span display time public int current index public vector2 position public string drawn message public display message string message time span display time vector2 position, and I forgot a variable public color draw color. And color. So message equals message. Display time equals display time. Current index equals 0. Position equals position. Drawn message equals string.empty. And draw color equals color. So this holds the message, this will hold the time we want it to be on the screen, this will hold the current index for the char in the message, this will hold the position, the XY position of where you want the text to be drawn, the drawn message of the message that we've currently drawn, and public color, well, the color we want it to be. Now let's make a new list of display messages equals new list of display message. Okay, now that we have that all said and done, let's go to the bottom and let's add a new void named update messages. Game time. Now, if messages.count is greater than 0, make sure that we have messages that we need to update, so it's not just randomly looping through nothing. Or int I equals 0, I less than messages.count, I plus plus. Display message dm equals messages I. Get the current message from the index of the loop. And now dm dot display time minus equals game time dot elapsed game time. Elapsed game time is the time from the last update. It's 60 frames per second, and elapsed time is like 1.6667, something like that. Basically a second. If dm dot display time less than equals time span dot 0, if the time is or less than 0, then messages dot remove at I. Remove the current message from the current index. Else messages I equals dm. Update the current message, or the message in the current list, to the one that we modified. Now, if you're just starting, and if you learned about for each loops, let me tell you something. For each is read only. If you want to modify something, you need to use a for loop, not for each. And now our update messages method is done. Now void draw messages. We don't need game time for this. Now, if messages.count greater than 0, or int I equals 0, I less than messages.count, I plus plus. Now, display message dm equals messages I. dm dot drawn message plus equals dm dot message dm dot current index dot toString. Then sprite patch dot draw string. Just put null for now. We'll get our font in a minute. dm dot drawn message dm dot position and dm dot color, or draw color. And now if dm dot current index not equal to dm dot message dot length -1, which will make it the zero-based index of the message length, then can't think straight at the moment. Alright, okay, messages I equals dm and dm dot current index plus plus. Okay, now let me explain this. This, of course, will get the current display message from the index in the list. This adds drawn message to the drawn message, the current index of the message, the current char that we're on with the current index, and then it just draws the message to the screen one by one, or well, not one by one, but I'll explain it after we do the drawing. So now that we have our current index and we increase the current index, it goes 0, 1, 2, etc., etc. And if it's not equal to the length, in other words, if we haven't drawn every character to the screen, then it'll increase the index and reset the message and display message in the list to the message that we modified. So our draw messages method is done. Our update messages is done. So go over, first things first, we need to add a new sprite font. Can't draw without a font. Go down to load, or go over here, so your content, add new item, sprite font, and just name it font. You don't need to mess with anything in here. Just go back to your game, go to load content, and then font equals content.load sprite font. And now let's go down here. We don't need this. Now input manager dot update. And now if input manager dot, I don't feel like plugging in my Xbox, so I just use keyboard A. Then messages dot add new display message. You pressed the A button. Time span dot from seconds 2.0 new vector 2 graphics device dot viewport dot title save view area dot x and messages dot count times 30 color dot white. Okay, now what this does is if the user presses and releases A, then it'll draw to the screen. You press the A button with the typing style, to the title save area, which is good if you're testing this on a TV or such, and messages.count times 30. Meaning if it's 1, then it'll time it, and if you know basic math, you should get what that means. And now that that's said and done, let's go over to our drawing section and sprite-patch.begin. Make sure you always begin it, and put draw messages right in the middle, and then sprite-patch.end. And that should be about it. Let's debug this and see what we have. Oops. Okay. Oh, that would have screwed some things up. Make sure you change it from null to font. And now, as you can see, instead of just popping up on the screen, it's like it's being typed. And it's not being removed from the screen for some reason. Did do 2 seconds, right? Let's see. Oh, we've got to update it. Okay. Update, messages, game time. Now let's run this. And that's it. Now you can make text seem like it's being typed onto the screen. If you have any questions, just PM me or leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Later.